Thank you, Ranking Member Correa. I now recognize the chairman for the Subcommittee on Emergency Management and Technology, the gentleman from New York, Mr. Desposito, for his opening statement.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you and Ranking Member Correa for so kindly allowing today's hearing to be a joint hearing with the Emergency Management and Technology Subcommittee. I would also like to thank our esteemed panel of witnesses for joining us here today. I'm looking forward to having a meaningful discussion about how the Department of Homeland Security and the United States government can fight against transnational criminal organizations booming the human trafficking business, both here in the United States and along smuggling routes in Latin America. As I am sure we would all agree, human trafficking is an evil which should be eradicated. It is the use of force, fraud, or coercion to exploit someone else for personal gain. It is, in its very nature, dehumanizing, selfish, and cruel. Put simply, traffickers prey on vulnerability and they profit from pain. To some Americans, the reality and dangers of human trafficking may only seem like a plot for a good movie or some faraway and minuscule reality. However, that is simply not the case. While human trafficking is a hidden crime, it is estimated that 27.6 million men, women, and children are currently victims of human trafficking, whether by powerful criminal organizations or by individuals who simply take advantage of others' misfortune. With this in mind, it is important that we explore the reality between the Biden administration's failure to secure the southern border and how TCOs take advantage of migrants on their journey to the United States of America and after they arrive. Transnational criminal organizations make billions of dollars each year off human trafficking alone. And while human smuggling does not cause human trafficking, the two are correlated. A recent ABC article demonstrated that the surge of migration is directly tied to the TCO's recruitment of migrants for their, quote, big business of human smuggling. While migrants pay cartels thousands of dollars to be smuggled into the United States of America, these TCOs often exploit, sexually abuse, and traffic the same migrants who paid them. Tragically, women and children, including unaccompanied minors, bear the brunt of this abuse. The truth is that open borders empower TCOs to take advantage of migrants' vulnerability, and once across the border, many migrants continue to be at risk of being trafficked. With the growing number of migrants overwhelming cities in the United States, the current humanitarian crisis is only putting more individuals at risk of being trafficked. Housing instability, a lack of support system, and financial pressure all make migrants vulnerable to trafficking. While states like Texas and Arizona have had to manage the border crisis for years, every state, under the failed policies of Biden and Mayorkas, are now becoming a border state. My home state of New York is no exception. Since the spring of 2022, more than 100,000 migrants have passed through New York City, and it is estimated that more than 58,000 individuals still remain in the city's care. The mayor of the city of New York, Eric Adams, has previously stated that the city has already spent more than $1.45 billion to address the migrant crisis, and that New York City could potentially spend $12 billion to address the migrant crisis over the next 3 fiscal years. It is glaringly apparent that the city is inadequately prepared to house or provide services to the growing number of migrants. The mayor's response has been to put migrants in already overcrowded homeless shelters and hospitals, JFK Airport, and a tent city at Randall's Island, just to name a few locations. The lack of planning when it comes to migrant housing is extremely concerning, given that we know about the human trafficking risk factors. In 2021, Polaris, the operator of the National Human Trafficking Hotline, published a report that found that migration or relocation and unstable housing are both major risk factors that can make an individual more vulnerable to human trafficking. New York City and the Long Island area have one of the highest rates of human trafficking in the country. According to the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services, between 2008 and 2021, local authorities have made 58 human trafficking arrests, 24 in my home county of Nassau and 34 in the bordering county and the home to Congressman Nick LaLota in Suffolk County. Given the fact that the current administration continues to do nothing to address the migrant crisis, I am deeply concerned that this lack of resources and planning will lead to an increase in the number of individuals being trafficked. Furthermore, in the Long Island area, gang activity can also contribute to the risk of individuals being trafficked. As highlighted in a Washington Post article from last year, the gang MS-13 has, quote, increasingly turned to sex trafficking over the past decade to generate income alongside drug trafficking. MS-13, which has operated on Long Island since 2003, many have been convicted of dozens of murders in the region and is considered one of the most violent criminal organizations on Long Island. I hope for the sake of all those being impacted by this crisis that we are able to come together to find meaningful solutions. Again, I thank you all for being here today. I thank the chairman and the ranking member, and with that, I yield back.